Everyone, topic of the day is a picture is worth 1,000 words. We human beings are all visual creature. Our brain processes images 60,000 times faster than the text. 90% of the information transmitted in our brain are in visual forms. It's not that it has happened by a choice. It has happened because we have been hardwired through from our prehistoric day. We have been communicating with each other since last 30,000 years, but our brain started communicating in word. It's only 3,700 years, since 37 years. So it's hardly 10% of the time period we have had text in our mind. So we have been hardwired to process images in our brain. To process, our brain has been hardwired to process the visuals since the prehistoric times. So it's like word and images. We all human beings thinks in the words. In fact, every species has memory in the visual forms only, and we are not an exception. The images, we think in images, and it can be always be proved from yourself. If we think of some sentence, suppose anything, camera, when we hear the word camera, automatically our mind flashes the image of camera, and accordingly we remember the word camera. It's not like that every word CAMERA is started floating in our mind. It doesn't work like that. Our brain remember things in visual forms. When we say some word, it automatically convert in images, but some word has no images, then our brain cannot process those words. We'll have to use different part of our brain. Suppose I say Bura mat suno. So Bura, our brain can imagine something bad. Suno, they can process it like hearing, but mat, brain doesn't process anything so much. So whenever we say something to our child, it's a very practical example that don't do this. So child will automatically, suppose I will say to my kid that don't use mobile. So don't doesn't process in their mind, in our mind also, because it doesn't have any images attached to it. Use mobile. Use mobile has images that we have to use mobile. So if we say something to someone, don't do it, they will start doing it. That is how our brain functions. That's why it is said that we should not think about the particular thing. We want to not to de-addict from that things. Suppose something we have been addicted, and our brain says, we keep saying to ourselves, don't use that, don't use that. If I say to you, don't imagine an elephant right now. If I say don't imagine an elephant, everybody will have elephant in their mind, because our mind doesn't process this particular word. They process images only. So this is a very simple example to explain the difference between the visual forms and the word forms. The it's it's like watching, listening a commentary of a cricket match, or watching live on a TV or the cricket stadium. Which will you prefer? Of course, the watching a cricket match on a stadium or TV, live TV, has different level of memory power, and then different type of memory attached to it. If images has images is equivalent to thousands of words, then we can see that video can equivalent to tens of millions of images. So now the future is of video. We have lots of examples. Suppose I am going on some adventurous journey, and my friends asked me to explain the experiences or the scenic view of the adventurous places, like any snowfall is happening. If suppose I would like to explain those scenes and experience in the world, it would be very difficult for me. And if I just give him a picture of those places, my friend wouldn't get everything clear. So that is the difference. Something we cannot express in our emotion in the world, but our emotions can be captured in the images. That is what is the difference. If suppose I am grieving and someone has called me, they will think like that, that something to grieve has happened, that's why he is sad. But actually they cannot in reality they cannot experience what is happening with you. So that is the difference between the images and the word. We'll have to communicate everything. Suppose I have to give presentation, then we'll have to try to mostly present everything in the visual forms, not in all the words and text. That it will be difficult for the person to grasp everything. So when it's very perfectly said that when we have to process images, we'll have to our mind processes images 1,000 times than text, and then our brain processes video millions of times than image. So we'll have to now adopt our everything to adopt in the video format. That is what is happening right now everywhere. That is what we are doing right here. Thank you very much. This is my thought on the topic of the day. Thank you.